I don't think there's news, personally or professionally. I'm on
All right.
Or medically.
I'm on Hustle Castle right now while we're recording, not a sponsor. Welcome back to the Gridiron Goons. I'm your host, Brandon. I'm with the Preacher.
What
I'm with
up?
the Sean O'Mac.
Hello.
First of all, we gotta almost rush, but not really, because Sean O'Mac has to go to his parents' house like ASAP. He didn't tell us. We're like, what the hell, man?
Well, it is, as we record this, it is Memorial Day, so
It is.
shout out to any of our vets that
Yes,
listen.
absolutely.
We appreciate your service, and then obviously we appreciate those men and women that did not make it home, and thank you for serving in a country to make us free. And so we're going to bring you a really good episode, but
Absolutely.
might be a little rushed because, well, Sean's got to go.
We're not gonna rush too bad, but we're gonna rush just enough just to
They
piss Sean
are
off.
blowing this out of proportion a tad bit.
I mean, look, man.
Is
it
this what
it
friends
is.
are for?
I'm
you
still
know?
playing Hustle Castle.
But yes, it's going to be
Not
fun.
sponsored.
Not
And
sponsored.
we're going to be saying a lot of names that may have slipped your mind and you've forgotten where they went in past drafts.
Why don't you tell them exactly what we're doing? This was Sean O'Mac's idea.
So I went down the list. COVID year 2020 through 2024. Every NFL draft, I have every first round written down. Then I went back through rounds 1 through 7, and I plucked out notable players that we would, seeing where they're at now, put in the first round.
Okay. So we're starting with 2020, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I was thinking was start 2020, and I'll just go 1 through 32 just to refresh everyone with the names. Because some of them, some of these first rounders, I'll be honest, not even in the league no more. Or they're just on practice squad.
Okay.
And then if you want, then I rewritten the teams down with a blank spot, and we can put the name who we would see drafted there now. And I wrote that, and I went through rounds 1 through 7. Excuse me, and I plucked some notable names that would potentially be in the first round, knowing what we know now.
Okay. All right. I think we all can see where this is going. So while we're about to get started, let me crack this.
We need to be sponsored. But
That's a NOS, not sponsored, but the best energy drink out there on the market. Hashtag NOS, sponsor us.
Yes, I'm drinking a Red Bull.
You didn't have to fucking say it,
Sugar free.
but that's
No sugar free in this household, but
Some of these names you're gonna be like, oh my god, he was taking the first round. Yeah. So are we gonna jump? Ready?
yeah, let's
jump right
let's
in.
go
All
for
right.
it.
So starting with the COVID year 2020 draft, Bengals had the first pick. We went Joey B.
Couldn't have been much better.
Commanders had second pick, Chase Young. Lions, Jeff Okuda with the third pick. The Giants went Andrew Thomas with the fourth pick. Dolphins went Tua. Chargers went Herbo. Panthers went Derek Brown. Cardinals went Isaiah Simmons. The Jaguars went C.J. Henderson. This is where the Browns went Jarek Willis. The Jets went Mekhi Becton. The excuse me. The Raiders went Henry Ruggs III. The Bucks went Tristan Wirfs.
Fuck yeah.
The
And
This was
wasn't that was
terrible
a
draft.
trade? That was a trade from Indy through San Francisco.
And speaking of San Francisco, we took Javon Kinlaw, who, well, that's another story for another day. Jerry Jeudy went to the Broncos. The Falcons went A.J. Terrell. The Cowboys got C.D. The Dolphins went Austin Jackson. The Raiders went Damon Arnett. Jags went, what I can't read my writing.
Figure it out.
Kaylavon Chason. The Eagles went Jalen Rager. The Eagles picked Jalen Rager before Jay Jettis. The Vikings went Justin Jefferson. The Chargers went Kenneth Murray. The Saints went great center out of Michigan, Cesar Ruiz. The Niners went and scooped up Ayuk. The Packers got Jordan Love. The Seahawks got Jordan Brooks. The Ravens got Patrick Queen. The Titans got Isaiah Wilson. The Dolphins got Noah Egbahini.
You expect me to pronounce that name?
You know what? Fair.
Vikings got Jeff Gladney, and the Chiefs got Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
There's a lot of names I can see being switched. Like the Lions, Jeff Okuda. With that 1-3, they could have had Jay Jettas. What the hell are you doing?
I forgot to write to his last name.
Yeah, they could have got Jefferson at that 3, CD at that 3.
I mean, even think about the fact that at the time Oakland took Henry Ruggs III at the 12 slot.
he was so promising.
He was the first receiver
Right.
taken over CD and over Jay Jettis and Ayuk.
Which is kind of crazy when you look back. You know, now this is 5 years. You know, we're going into the 5th season.
Yeah.
You know, where CD and Justin Jefferson are the 2 first rounders that are the name, you know, the name drops of the first round. Where I even look at, I've made this comment to you guys too. Even if you look in the 2nd round of this draft, T. Higgins went in that first pick to Cincinnati. So you had T. Higgins, and then Detroit then drafted DeAndre Swift in that 3rd pick of the 2nd round. And that, right? So that took him, where's Swift now? He's on the Bears.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, looking back at what did that go for them? You know, you look at some big guys that weren't off the board till later, Jonathan Taylor, even guys like, I don't know, Jalen Hurts.
Damn.
Well, I forgot. Judy was taken before. Jerry Judy was taken before Jefferson and CD too.
That's insane.
I mean, obviously, we all know the story with Ruggs. Potential was there, but
He was
liked
a
to
speed demon.
He liked to race better.
Do you get it?
Yes, he was a speed demon.
So I have a blank list, 1 through 32, of that same draft order, and we can redo the draft.
Can I just? I just want to put one person on the Chiefs that I could think of, instead of going that running back, going Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be fucking dumb. Dumb.
All right. So I think
If they need change, obviously, like the Bengals.
that
Bengals
don't
are
need
sticking with
change.
Burrow.
Yeah.
For sure. I think Chase Young to the Commanders was a okay fit at the time for what's out there. It's not terrible.
This is the year you said the Chargers got Herbert.
Yes.
Yes.
That should stay the same, unless you want to say Hurts goes there.
Well, so in my round 2 through 7 notables, I jotted down was T. Higgins, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't see DeAndre Swift going in the first round.
No.
So I'm going to mark that off. Michael Pittman, Antoine Winfield Jr.,
Oh hell yeah!
Jalen Johnson,
We had a great draft that year, apparently.
Jalen Hurts, Alex Highsmith in the 3rd round, L'Jarius Sneed in the 4th round, and Juwan Jennings in the 7th round.
So let's put Alex Highsmith on the commies for sure, because if they wanted
Over
edge
Young?
pressure, for sure, I would say Highsmith is better than Young. Thoughts?
I'll go with it.
I'm with it. Then the Lions, their original pick was Okuda.
So you're saying they wanted a corner?
Apparently.
Or they just took.
If we're gonna call defensive backs, you throw Antoine Winfield Jr. there, top 3 safety in the league right now,
Yes.
for sure. But if you want to pick what they needed back in 20, is that before the Goff trade or after?
After.
You know,
Because
tell
when
me-
did the golf trade happen? 21 or 22, wasn't it?
It was before
The Rams
because
won the Super Bowl in 23.
No. Chiefs went to 2 back-to-back. They were 3 back-to-back, so it had to be 21 or 22. We got Breach Googling it, so uno momento.
Eagles, Chiefs beat the Niners.
It would have been Matthew Stafford.
Well, if they knew they wanted a different QB, Jalen Hurts going to the Lions, Herbert going to the Lions, Tua.
I would think I was going to put Hurts going to the Dolphins because I think you would take Hurts over
Yeah,
Tua.
I like that. Go put that down. You imagine Jay Jettas in the Hawaii blue, the Honolulu blue.
Ew.
Oh my god!
Here's the real question then, though. Who would have been the Dolphins quarterback?
Herbo.
I think you can move Herbo up.
That's insane.
So you're saying, let me get this straight. You think Justin Jefferson to the Dolphins?
I don't think anybody said that.
Oh, okay.
I think you're the one that said that.
I think Herbo is going to the Lions.
I could see that. But wouldn't you draft Jalen Hurts over Herbo, knowing what you know now?
And the Giants. Man, this is more complicated.
Yeah, it is.
Than you thought?
Because you would think because a lot of it's like people, you're just doing it individually, like where you want to see people.
Yeah.
Like, you're not thinking about like the team.
Yeah. Because, like, in theory, the Giants had Danny Dimes running wild. It's like, why wouldn't we be throwing the best quarterback available there? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Danny fucking Dimes we're talking about.
Okay, so let's redo this another way. Let me run something by you. Let me go down, say the name, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me tell you the notable players that you might not be thinking about. And then we'll go down the list and say if you would change the pick or not.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
I
give
think that
a
would be
try.
better. 2020 was a little shaky, a little experimental.
Rona.
Now I think we have something cooking.
We have something cooking.
So let's start with the commies, because we're going to leave Joe Burrow on the Bengals.
Yes. Commanders and Chase Young. Keeping it or switching it?
Switching it.
Okay. I think I would put either.
Didn't we already say who we put in there, though?
Yeah, but we're trying it a different way.
Oh, okay.
You just want to start with 21. This was a dry run.
Listen, if anything we could go back through 2020, it would have been the fact that Green Bay
Oh, God.
trading up would have taken Jalen Hurts at that slot, because I'm not gonna lie, yes, Jordan Love is molded into his own. Could you imagine having Hurts on that team, or even in that same breath, could you imagine having a clear-cut number one in T. Higgins there? Which, if you think about T. Higgins being in Green Bay, more than likely Aaron Rodgers still would have been slinging the rock pretty good in Green Bay if T. Higgins was there.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, like, so many of the things that Green Bay, yeah, they were like, okay, well, we're going to move on from Rodgers. But now you're talking about looking back 5 years later. Hurts has already won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Jordan Love hasn't. You know, Hurts is running all over the place. Jordan Love is not running the same numbers that Hurts is.
No.
You know, so, I mean, looking back, you know, Hurts wasn't really, I mean, obviously he fell in the second round for a reason in that draft, because he wasn't perceived as the number one quarterback or in that top tier. But looking back at it now, like, would you rather have Hurts over, I mean, the Dolphins would rather have Hurts over Tua.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Chargers would rather have Hurts over Herbo. You don't think so?
No.
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 Green Bay certainly would rather have Hurts over Love.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would go that route. But yeah, let's roll through 21, I guess.
Plus, just real quick, 2020, they didn't have Trevor Lawrence yet. The Jags might have taken Hurts.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because it is pick 1-1 and 21. This could change the course of all eternity.
Yes.
But one thing that us as football fans will never forget is when Jalen Reagor was taken before Justin Jefferson.
That is
Yes,
very,
that is very
very true. Could you imagine Jay Jettas on the Eagles? Just them switching? Oh my god.
But like let's just say where was it? The Cowboys and the Raiders switch spots. Henry Ruggs goes to the Raiders or the Cowboys, and CD winds up in Oakland at the time.
That'd be crazy.
Listen,
Would that have been CD and Devontae at that time or no?
Was Devontae still in Green Bay?
I think Devontae was still in Green Bay.
This opens up a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. If you guys can hear, we got some yelling outside. It's not like from the studio's basement or anything. Don't be thinking
Patrick
like that.
Queen would slide into the top 10.
Probably.
2020, he was still in Green Bay. He did not go to Las Vegas or Oakland at the time until 22. But could you imagine, though? Because, I mean, listen, Raider Nation, we're almost a part of Raider Nation now
Yeah,
with the
at
response
this
on
point.
TikTok. But could you imagine CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson in Oakland at that time?
And then they still trade for Devontae in that world? Oh my god. That'd be insane. That'd be insane.
I mean, it's crazy to think about just one draft, and we didn't even go through all 32 teams. Just one draft of notable players changes the whole landscape.
One thing I did picked up on going 20 through 24 draft, you're going to notice that, and I don't recall, but the Dolphins have a lot of first round picks. They have multiple first round picks in multiple drafts.
And their ass. Sorry,
Right.
Dolphins fans.
But
All right, you ready for 21 then?
yeah,
Because this is I already see a couple players I'd be trading away.
so this, I'll just say the team and the name. Boom, boom, boom. Jags, Trevor Lawrence. The Jets, Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Who's the next one?
Niners, Trey Lance.
Damn.
The Falcons,
You
Kyle
got something
Pitts?
wrong, bud.
Kyle
yes,
Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts went to the Falcons that year, which that was a good pickup for the Falcons. That has materialized over years. But Kyle Pitts is now coming to his own.
You fucked your list all up.
Do you have? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
fucked mine
Fifth
all
pick was from the Bengals. That was Jamar Chase year. So, I mean, think it back. You got to think Cincinnati has built their roster from an offensive weapon side in 2 years.
Yeah.
Because you got T. Higgins and Joe Burrow in 2020, and then you went back and you got Jamar Chase in 21. Jalen Waddle went to the Dolphins, and then Penei Sewell went to the Lions. Then in the 8th pick, J.C. Horn went to the Carolina Panthers. He is from South Carolina, but he went to Carolina Panthers. That was great. Great,
Okay.
great move there. Pat Certain the second. Certain. My bad. Jeez, you asking me to pronounce names?
That's
right?
literally not that hard, though.
Okay. All right.
Just
well,
say
he
PS2.
went to Broncos. Devonta Smith went to the Eagles at pick 10. Pick 11 was Justin Fields to the Bears. Micah Parsons picked 12 to the Cowboys.
Looking back, I'm kind of shocked he fell that far.
Who?
Knowing what we
Micah?
know now, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a top 3 pick.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Easy.
say, knowing now he's a top 3 pick.
Yeah. 100%. Now, would let's say it went to 5, would the Bengals, knowing what we know now, go Micah over Jamar.
I think they would still go Jamar because Burrow had a lot of influence on that pick.
Okay.
I mean, you want to talk about the two quarterbacks at 2 and 3. Would you put Justin Fields at any one of those two places?
Yes.
On the Jets, where he is right now. 100%.
Imagine if they would have just drafted him in the beginning.
They'd have been fine.
They would have been fine. They would have never had Aaron Rodgers.
We would have taken
They right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could you imagine? Can you imagine Fields on the damn Niners, bro? Oh my God.
I mean, I've heard of worse things.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Trey Lance. You used 3 picks for him.
they did. Yeah, because you picked that. You traded up. You traded up for Trey Lance that year.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Oh, all right. So, do you want me to kind of just point out big guys or just roll through? I mean, we went through 12 on this list.
Where'd you leave off?
Rashawn
Micah
Slater
Parsons.
to
Micah?
the Chargers.
The Jets took Elijah Vera Tucker. The Pats took another surprise, Mac Jones.
Oh,
The Cards got Xavier Collins. The Raiders got Alex Leatherwood. The Dolphins got Jalen Phillips. The Commanders got Jamie Davis.
Jamin Davis.
Jamin Davis. The Giants got Kadarius Stoney. I forgot he went in the
Hold on.
first round.
You respect that man. He's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. And in your opinion, he's better than Terrell Owens. And Randy Moss.
Preach.
In his opinion,
I'm
Super Bowl rings matter more than anything.
listen. I am.
Darius Toney is better than your favorites.
Oh my God.
He's
Listen-
better than Megatron.
Listen, I'm not.
T.O.
I am not saving you at all on this one.
Almost.
One day he will change his views.
I'm just saying.
Let's keep trucking along. The Colts took Kwity Paye out of Michigan. The Titans got Caleb Farley. The Vikings got Christian Darrisaw. The Steelers got Najee. The Jags got Travis Etienne. Excuse me. The Browns got Greg Newsome the second.
Dog.
Newsome?
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse
That
me.
was a steal.
This is when the Ravens took Rashad Bateman, who's still there, solid role every year.
I think his skill is better than the numbers he puts up. I think Rashad Bateman really has a deep bag and could be a 1 on a lot of teams.
Okay. And then we turn around. The Saints went Peyton Turner. The Packers went Eric Stokes. The Bills went Greg Rousseau, who
Ooh.
just got big money this
Nasty work.
year. The Ravens got Odafe Owa.
Owe. Odofe Owe.
And the Bucks took Joe Tryon-Shoyinka.
I'd like to change that pick.
All right. Now here's the real question.
Oh.
At 27, the Ravens took Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have taken, knowing what you know now, Nico Collins or Bateman?
Nico.
Nico.
And Nico went in the 3rd round that year, by the way.
Yes. So some of the big names I have for rounds 2 through 7 that year.
I'll say Amon-Ra's in this draft somewhere.
Asante Samuel, Creed Humphrey, Nico, Amon-Ra in the 4th, Diamondre Lenore, Landon Dickerson, and Nick Bolton.
Damn. I don't know who I'd rather have.
Nico's going in first.
Yeah, Nico's
He should
going
be,
first.
knowing what we know now, he should be, I was going to say the first wide receiver, but I
No.
forgot about Jamar. You would take Nico over Jay Waller, right?
Yeah. I would. It took me a minute on that one, to be completely honest, but yeah. Yeah.
A lot of receivers went 21 draft.
See, here's a problem is like my 21 Bucks team. That was the Super Bowl team. So me saying I'd like Nick Bolton, knowing what I know now, is fair to say. But that would have been the dumbest pickup they could have had in that draft, because that was when Devin White was actually good at football, because he was good at football for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So
He still is.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Right.
Is he in the league no
He
more?
went from the Bucks to the Eagles, and I don't know what the fuck's going on now.
Oh.
Because I didn't see him on the field at all last year's Super Bowl. He might not have even been on the team during then. They might have cut his ass. We don't know.
Oh. I'm going to throw Amon-Ra for sure in the first round. Nico in the first round. Yeah. Couple centers. Couple of the best centers in the game today. Creed Humphrey
I would like to have Creed Humphrey, I think, over
and Landon
Joe.
Dickerson.
Sure, we wouldn't have had Graham Barton for this year, but we could have picked something else. Creed Humphrey's literally the best center in the league right now.
I guess my question would be is if you put in Amon-Ra, where is Amon-Ra going? Is he going?
So, in my opinion, the top 5 receivers this year should look, in my opinion, as Jamar is 1 in this draft, Nico is 2, Amon-Ra is 3,
Okay.
Waddle is 4, and Devontae Smith is 5.
I think that's fair. Yeah, knowing what we know now, I think that's fair.
So that would put Amon-Ra, or that would put Nico in Miami. Then that would put Amon-Ra in Philly.
Oof.
And then
Imagine Amon-Ra with A.J. Brown? Oh, my God.
and then the next wide receiver was the Giants with Kadarius Toney.
And that would be who?
Who did you just say?
Who was 4th?
Who was 4?
Waddle.
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 So Waddle would be in the in New
Oh
York.
my God!
And then Smith would be in Baltimore.
Damn.
That would be the lineup for 2021.
I'm still gonna
wide
I'm gonna
receiver.
stick to my guns though. I think Rashad Bateman, skill to skill, is just as good as Devonta Smith and possible Amon-Ra. Very different styles for both of them, but yeah.
Yeah, because when Najee went, and then you turn around and the ETN went, Craig was like, yeah, we're going to start getting a run on running backs now. They're going to start flying off the board because they went back-to-back running backs. Mm-hmm. And Cover's like, oh, here go the running back. Here comes the running back run. And they were like, the
Then there
only
was
2
none.
taken since like the 3rd round.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, for my Bucks, I think I would say I wanted Creed Humphrey, knowing what I know now, for sure. Because we got Wirfs the year before, and then Humphrey. Come on now.
Yeah, I want anyone but Trey Lance.
I mean, shit. You had the 3rd pick, so you literally have
We
pick
traded
of the litter.
to get 3rd.
What did you have?
We could
prior?
have Jamar. What if we took? Oh my God! If we would have took Jamar Chase at 3,
Why? So IU could have still been a 2.
and paired Chase up with Debo and IU. Oh my God!
That's too much.
With Kittle,
That's too much.
and then Brock comes in. Oh
No,
my God!
No, man.
Sean begins to Brock
No.
Purdy.
I'm about sick of you. That joke was played out forever ago.
You know you love that.
Oh my God. Let's go to the 22 draft, shall we?
Yes.
We have to at this point.
First overall was Trayvon Walker. Then the Lions went Aiden Hutchinson. The Texans went Derek Stingley Jr. The Jets went Sauce Gardner. The Giants went Kayvon Thibodeau. The Panthers went Akeem Ikwanu.
I don't know who that is.
The Giants went. The Panthers went Akeem Ekwanu. The Giants went Evan Neal. The Falcons went Drake London. The Seahawks went Charles Cross. The Jets got Garrett Wilson. The Saints went Chris Olave. The Lions got J-Mo. The Eagles got Jordan Davis. The Ravens went Kyle Hamilton. The Texans went Kenyon Green. The Commanders got Jahan Dotson. The Chargers went Zion Johnson. The Titans went Traylon Burks. I'm sorry. Where was I? The Saints went Trevor
Fleming? What the hell did
Renning?
you write?
Penning.
Penning. There you go.
Ass.
The Steelers went
Kenny Pickett.
Baby hand Pickett.
The Chiefs went Trent McDuffie.
Dog.
The Packers went Quay Walker. The Bills went Ka'ir Elam. Remember when he got burned?
Dude, he got just roasted in that fucking game.
Cowboys went Tyler Smith. The Ravens went Tyler Linderbaum. The Jets went Jermaine Johnson II. The Jags went Devin Lloyd. The Packers went Devontae Wyatt. The Pats got Cole Strange. The Chiefs got George Karlaftis. The Bengals went Daxton Hill, Michigan. Vikings went Lewis Sign. And some of the notables taken 2 through the 7th rounds were Breece Hall, George Pickens, Trey McBride, Nick Bonito, Kirby Joseph, who just got paid, Tariq Woolen, Kyron Williams, and Brock Purdy.
Kyron.
Okay. Tariq Woolen, if he would have went to either Jags or Lions, sure, that would change everything about them teams. But Tariq Woolen is literally so good as a corner, but he's so underrated. No one has him in their top 5. And if he's not on your borderline, like honorable mentions category, you don't know ball.
A lot of times he gets overshadowed by Witherspoon.
Yeah, they're both just stupid. I think for cornerback duos in the league right now, the Seahawks have the best duo, for sure. Because Reek and Witherspoon are just dumb.
The 2022 draft, a lot of stud receivers, dude. Still studs today.
Yeah?
I mean, you got Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Olave. Maybe jury's still out on him, but I anticipate him coming back fully strong.
I think
Olave?
I think Olave's gotten the bad draw at being in New Orleans.
Yes.
I think-
I
yeah.
would love to see him traded.
Yes.
Because you think, at the time, you walk through this, and if Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson landed in Atlanta, where Drake London went, they would be completely. I mean, Chris
Yeah.
Olave would be a completely different player.
Yes.
And I think no matter who you took, if you took Drake London or Garrett Wilson or JMO and you stuck them in New Orleans, they would struggle. And it's just because the way the play calling was. You got to think of how many years did Kamara just get handed. You know, like the play calling was just Kamara. I mean,
Yeah.
And it was just always like a dump and pass or something short out of the backfield. And so I think Chris Olave would be an interesting one to see where he went. Imagine if he actually fell to 16 and the Commanders traded up for Chris Olave. Now knowing 2025, pairing that with, every weapon, Jaden Daniels with Chris Olave, that would have been nasty. I think obviously notable, Pittsburgh would have taken Brock Purdy over Kenny Pickett.
They would have taken anybody over Kenny Pickett.
Right. I mean,
Knowing what we know now, Jahan Dotson would not even be in the first 3 rounds.
Burks wouldn't
Burks
be.
would not even be in the first 3 rounds. Pickett wouldn't. Elam,
No.
I don't think so, man.
No, they were targeting him in the championship. They didn't care who he was against. They threw the ball to him because they knew he was toast.
But it seems like every draft nowadays has a minimum of 2 Ohio State wide receivers in the first round.
Yeah.
okay, Cade Otton drafted in the 4th round to Tampa. Would he go any higher?
No. No, he wasn't.
I mean, you got you got Burks and you got Jahan Dotson going in the first round. You easily substitute him for George Pickens,
Easily.
who was taken in the 2nd round.
Easily. George Pickens on the commies would be nasty.
And I think knowing what we know now, Trey McBride would go in the first round if we went back to this draft today.
For sure. He'd go somewhere in there because Trey McBride is one of the best in the league currently. Thoughts, Breach?
I mean,
I don't think there's any running backs taken in the first round.
I didn't hear one.
unfortunately,
I didn't hear a notable player except for Brees Hall
no.
for running backs.
Yeah, and Kyron.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Kyron.
Kyron.
I fucking love Kyron. Right, Sean?
All right, Sean. Sean.
I mean, yeah.
What was that, episode 4 that he came out and he said he was high on Kyron?
Yeah, dude.
Now, I absolutely, for one, love the 2023 draft. I think it was just action packed, bro.
I think 20 and 21 were just nasty drafts back to back.
Okay. Well, let me go through 23
Yeah,
and
let's
then
see how that works.
preach.
What? What? Listen, I'm looking at this list, and I'm not gonna lie, Evo 23 has a lot of intrigue into it because there's a lot. Now that we're in 25, we're 2 years later. 23 draft is really where we start to see things kind of unfold in the current landscape of NFL football now.
This is sort of where you see the running back making its comeback.
Yes.
So, without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Okay.
Bryce Young went first overall that year to the Panthers. C.J. Stroud went to the Texans, and the Texans worked their magic, remember? Flipped it, got back-to-back picks, 2 and 3 to get Will Anderson.
Yeah, nasty.
Nasty shit, bro. The Colts went... the jury's still out on this one. Anthony Richardson.
I still got faith in him, man. I don't know why.
The Seahawks turned around and went Devin Witherspoon. The Cardinals went Paris Johnson Jr., the big boy out of OSU. The Raiders went Tyree Wilson. This year, Falcons got Bijan. Eagles got Jalen Carter. So if you remember the previous 2 or 3 drafts, they went Georgia, first round. Excuse me. The Bears got Darnell Wright.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you're not the only
It's
one.
offensive tackle.
Okay.
The Titans got Peter Skoronski.
I don't know who that is.
The Lions stole Jamar Gibbs.
Time out for 1 second on that one. Everyone was so confused why they went Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes, they were.
Because they just
And everyone
traded
hated it.
They just traded for Montgomery, and no one liked it. Everyone said it was shitty. Now, I've relayed this on the pod before, but I'll do it again anyway. Barry Sanders was following the draft and following all the rookies like he always does, just like a lot of your vets do, right? And he called the GM, I don't remember his name, but he said, if you want me back on your team, my name's Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm in the draft. So I believe they traded up, and then they snagged Gibbs in the first. Because Barry Sanders said, I'm literally out there. My name is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, yeah, the 23 draft is... So a lot of people want to say it's the starting foundation of the Lions takeover.
Yes.
If we remember, this is the draft that they just crushed.
And it was Laporta, Gibbs.
Campbell.
Yeah, they had a lot.
So where'd I leave off? The Lions, Gibbs. The Packers got Lucas Van Ness.
Van Ness?
Van Ness was that year.
I bet he was.
Steelers
That was actually, that pickup was in the trade for Aaron Rodgers, or not? No, it wasn't in the trade. Was it? No, never mind. Psych.
disregard.
We traded the Jets in that one. I can't remember what that trade was for though. We had
Okay,
gotten that from the
man.
Jets.
Okay.
Lucas Van Ness.
Well, we will revisit that. Steelers got Broderick Jones. The Jets got Will McDonald. The Commanders got Emmanuel Forbes. The Pats got Christian Gonzalez.
Dog. Oops.
No, that's a duck. The Lions got Jack Campbell. The Bucks got Kalijah Cansey.
He's a dog. Fuck around.
The Seahawks got Jackson Smith and Jigba. The Chargers got Quentin Johnson.
Quentin Brickhands Johnston.
The Ravens got Zay Flowers. The Vikes got Jordan Addison. The Giants got Deontay Banks. The Bills got Dalton Kincaid. The Cowboys got Mozzie Smith. The Jags got Anton Harrison. The Bengals got Miles Murphy. The Saints got Brian Breezy. The Eagles got Nolan Smith. And the Chiefs got Felix Anodike Uzuma.
How come every time you say a Chiefs player, they could be better?
Always.
Do the Chiefs draft like shit?
Apparently.
Since they've started losing or winning.
Yeah, Chiefs, you gotta draft well to keep being on top.
So some of the notables that could have went in the first round, knowing what we know now, Joey Porter Jr., Sam Laporta, Brian Branch.
Damn.
The Lions killed it, dude. Devon A. Chain, he would more than likely go after Gibbs.
Yeah, probably.
Chase Brown potentially.
Yeah.
And
Puka.
Puka for sure. Hands
You
down.
imagine Puka on the Chargers, the other LA team?
Well, who was the first?
Shit.
Who was the first wide receiver taken this year? Let's see. Let's go back real quick. I'm going down. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
JSN.
I would put him after JSN just because they're similar.
Let's
Quentin Brickhands
Yes.
Johnston.
Let's just switch brick hands out with Puka. Puka on the chart. Oh my God!
I just fucking said that. Did I not just say that?
Do you know how nasty that would be, Herbo?
I know. That's why I fucking said that, and you treated me like dog shit.
Oh
I said put Puka on the other LA team, and he didn't even acknowledge me. And now he wants to. What the fuck, man?
Puka went in the 5th round.
I'm so
And Quentin
fucking
Johnson
sick
went
of
in
this.
the 1st.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
I have Brickhands Johnston in 2 fantasy leagues.
Well, remember all that commotion last year about him beginning of the year in the Baller Brothers
Yeah,
League.
that's true. Collusion.
That was your boy.
That was my boy. Collusion, though. It's full on collusion.
Yeah, and then tried to be like, whoa, what do you mean?
That wasn't collusion. Everybody had a free shot at him. After he posted in the group chat, thank you for leaving him for me.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right.
He colluded all those different times, and I still won the championship.
Regardless. I guess my question would be, if looking at this Houston Texan team, now Will Anderson is absolute dog on their offensive line for them. What if you would have put a Puka or a JSN, knowing what we know now with Nico in Houston? If you would have, because I mean, we're assuming obviously that none of what we would have felt that Nico would have went to a different place in that year, all of that would have stayed the same. And you paired Nico with a JSN or with a Puka.
You pair JSN back with CJ Stroud. Oh my
with
God.
Nico.
That'd be nasty work. But they definitely needed the help on that
for
defense.
sure. Well, and then obviously,
And then you bring in
24.
Tank Dell.
I think if you would have drafted JSN or Puka, you would have never brought in Tank Dell. So
That is very true. They would be without a Tank Dell.
Yeah,
and
there
that
would
means
be no
Tank Dell
Tank
would
Dell.
still have a leg.
The way you're looking at it, you're taking Puka over Zay Flowers.
yes,
Oh my, Puka. No.
You gotta speak. This is a podcast.
Puka with
Lamar.
Oh my God. I mean, my God.
okay. So what if?
Hold on, that's not their style. Their style is not what Puka brings to the table. Their style is exactly what Zay Flowers brings.
Okay. The Vikings take Puka over Addison and compare
Now-
him with Jake.
Now that I like because Addison and Jettas are like the same type of player. So you put Puka there, which is complete opposite of
With
Jettas.
JJ.
Now that is nasty.
When did Kirk Cousins go to the Falcons?
Oh, what the fuck?
And their quarterback
Last year, isn't it?
JJ, Jesse McCarthy.
Jesse McCarthy?
Jesse McCarthy.
Isn't that a boy band person?
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Is it
Jesse
like a
McCartney.
90s It was like a 90s band.
What the fuck is happening?
What are you doing, Sean? You
are
can't
we
be
doing?
dating yourself
I know.
that much, dude. We're trying to.
JJ McCarthy.
We're trying to find you a date. You're not
Yeah.
trying to date yourself. He's
Yeah.
single.
JJ McCarthy throwing that thing to Jay Jettis and or Puka with Hawkinsocks. And
Yeah, Hawkinson's. He's gonna be a fucking safety blanket for that man this year. Don't you guys forget. So unless Rodgers pulls a curveball. By the way, there is more Rodgers news. He gave
Has he
a,
come out of darkness?
he gave
Yeah.
a cryptic message.
Yes.
One of the Bears fans asks when he's going to retire or would he come to the Bears or something like that. And he said, well, I might be going to a team that is going to go on the road to Chicago. And the Steelers play the Bears in week 13. Just saying.
You know who also plays on the road in Chicago? The Vikings.
Really?
Yes. Listen, I'm still holding out for the prophetic, Green Bay quarterback, carousel.
What about instead of taking Addison here, the Vikings had taken Laporta? It could happen, knowing what we know now.
Was that already after the trade?
Oh, the
Hawkinson trade.
Yeah.
Well, then no, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, saying the Hawkins,
Oh, okay.
acting like that trade never happened, and you pair Laporta with Jay Jettis.
I think Laporta and Hawkinsocks are about the same player as well. Well, I lied. Hawkinson's way more red zone, and Laporta's way more, hey, I'm open in the middle of the field.
And let's keep in mind, this is the year we didn't have a first round pick because we gave it up for Trey Lance.
I was going to say, I didn't hear Bucks the past 2 years. I didn't hear us in 22 or 23.
Yeah.
Okay,
Elijah
looking-
Kinsey.
Oh, okay.
Looking back at it, though, if you're the Panthers, you would have taken Stroud at number 1 over Bryce Young.
At the end of year 1, you would have. But last year, it's really looking like they're...
And
the
knowing
same.
what we know now, Anthony Richards not even in the top
he,
five.
No.
He would be like 5th, 6th round pick for sure. So, you know what? Let's play that game. They had Minshew at that time, yes? The Colts?
Yes.
So, keep Minshew as the QB. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of look underneath here. And we're talking, they already have Jonathan Taylor, so we don't need a running back. So now we're taking Puka. We're taking Jack Campbell. We're taking JSN, Zay Flowers. We're going to put any of them on that team.
Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah. Like, knowing what we know now, you just run with Uncle Rico. And you throw weapons on the team and draft a QB in the year after.
We're gonna go through that steak.
Bike. He knocks him off the bike.
Coach would have put me in.
I can throw a football over the
In
map.
2022, their quarterback was Matt Ryan.
Oh, he did go there briefly.
He did, yeah. I thought...
And Phillip Rivers
So
went
in
there to finish.
23
And then Ryan.
was when Minshew took over.
Okay, that's what I just
Yeah,
said, right?
yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, you did. Sorry. Apologies.
I'm fucking sick of this. You guys are going to have
So-
to find a new podcast.
You also have to think, too, in 23, that's when Zach Moss popped off in Indy, too.
Yep.
That season, 2023 season.
That's what everyone got so high on him for the 24 fantasy, the draft season.
Yes.
Dude, I say fuck it. Throw Puka on the Colts with Gardner Minshew.
Oh,
Because they would have had Pittman as well. So it would have been Michael Pittman Jr. and Puka Nacua. That's nasty work. I don't know what's going on with Michael Pittman Jr. I know for fantasy he's irrelevant. But is it because of quarterback play? Is it because he's now the second best on his team? But Josh Downs is number 1, obviously. Like, what's going on with that?
I think you have to look at not only quarterback play, but how all of that has been handled. because you look at a wide receiver is only as good as the quarterback that's in place at the moment. Where when you had, but let's also think of Flacco goes in and plays, right? Flacco's style is definitely not feeding it to him, right? We know that Flacco loves the tight ends. Flacco does not like...
Look what he did for Njoku a couple years
Right.
ago.
So I think partially it's quarterback play. I think also the team's identity really hasn't been known in all of this, especially last season. You know, you had all the issues with Richardson up and down. And then is he quitting? Is he essentially quitting on the team? Is he getting pulled off the team? You know, what's going on with that?
Last year's the year he took himself out of the game.
Is he putting up 5 fantasy points or 35 fantasy points?
Let's not forget Alec Pierce emerged, too.
He's just a deep ball guy. He's nasty work at the deep ball.
If anybody wants Michael Pittman, he's available.
Let's not forget who the Colts got this year in the draft. So I think that's going to help them, especially them receivers on the outside. Now that they have a force in the middle that they have to pay attention to.
Yeah. If they don't pay attention to Warren, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of game over for another team at that point.
But who's throwing the ball in Indy this year? Richardson, or they got someone else too?
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes.
It's definitely going to be Richardson.
Yeah.
Because
And
they
if
throw
Ri-
the ball the exact same amount of shit, but Richardson runs it a lot better. It's simple.
But then if Richardson quits on the team, it'll be Danny Dimes.
Well, he's going to have to not do that. He's going to have to grow
Well,
up quick.
do you really think he is? Like,
Andy's...
I guess my question
they
is...
just drafted one of the quarterbacks this year too.
Colts did?
Yes. I
Pretty
can't
sure I'll look
think
that
of
up
it.
while we're talking about that.
So-
But, I mean, here's the thing. We also got to remember this, too. Richardson is going into year 3. He was injured almost all of his rookie season. He was
He
injured
was
about
the shoulder,
half
from
half
running.
of season 2. Is this... Yeah, this is... We're going into
Third
3?
or fourth. Is this his third or fourth year?
Is this going in 3 or 4?
It would have been... Wasn't he 21?
24.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
this
when.
is year 3. This is year 3.
21.
Huh?
Or, no.
23.
23.
So we're going into year 3 this year, this upcoming.
The Colts drafted Riley Leonard out of Notre
There you
Dame
go.
in the 6th round.
Notre Dame?
Notre Dame. So, I mean, they do have a little bit more depth there, but, I mean, as per what that's going to add.
Riley Leonard could very well start this season. The quarterback situation for the Colts in general is very uncertain.
Abysmal.
Very uncertain. I'd rather have Brock Purdy. I'm just kidding. He's not that bad. I just like giving Sean shit. Yeah, that's actually a battle I'm going to keep kind of close to. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like over there in Indianapolis.
Okay, so let's just assume, or well, maybe a little Riley Leonard starts week 1.
Mm-hmm.
What do you, if you're looking at redrafting a team, are you staying away from any? I mean, Tyler Warren clearly in dynasty leagues, Tyler Warren's going high.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you concerned whether talent versus quarterback play, or
No, there's 3 people you're drafting in fantasy from Indy: Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor, and Tyler Warren.
Yeah. And in a redraft setting, Tyler Warren, you'll get him cheap.
okay
We're talking like 10, 11, 12 round.
in a dynasty? Are you concerned about talent and quarterback
So-
play, or are you thinking, okay, the talent for Warren's going to be there?
Let's put a pause on doing 24. I like where you're going with this. So for a fantasy draft perspective, for people that don't know, for dynasties, it's just a rookie draft. Just like the NFL draft, your team has picks in 4 rounds worth, and it's only rookies that are available. So what Preacher's saying is, are you taking Warren because hypothetically he's the best tight end available? Or are you going to take Loveland because he has Caleb Williams and you have a surefire good quarterback? Or are you going to take the third option, Mason Taylor, from the Jets that has Justin Fields, and Justin Fields made Cole Kmet a top 10 tight end 2 years in a row?
I'm telling you what. Do not be surprised to see Mason Graham go higher than what everyone thinks.
Mason Taylor.
Wrong guy.
What'd I say?
Graham.
Oh,
But
Easy to mix up there.
But so in our draft coming up, two of our picks in that top 10 are going to be tight ends, and it's going to be a combination of two of them three. I mean,
we need to have our rookie draft, bro.
we need to quit bringing this up every episode. But so if I was heart set on getting a tight end, I think I'm going to go Warren because good players can make bad quarterbacks okay.
Okay.
And the same thing is good quarterbacks can make bad players okay, right?
I kind of look at the shadow of, they always say young quarterback's best friend is a good tight end.
Yeah.
I would also put that in a bad quarterback's good friend is a good tight end.
We're not talking shit on Joe Flacco, by the way.
No.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Breach? Speculations?
I mean, I think for me, you have to answer the question of what do you feel you want now? Because if you're in a dynasty league, right, and assuming that the tight ends fall in between the middle to the end of the first round, most of those teams are either were really close of making the playoffs or they were in the playoffs. The question comes to head, where do you want right now potential or do you want further out potential? Because if you're looking at Mason Taylor going to the Jets, Justin Fields proved last year that he is very much a starting quarterback still in the league. He just had a bad draw in Chicago. Now going to New York with what they have, the abilities and the weapons around him, is he going to be able to provide Taylor that benefit that you need right now to win a championship? Or I think with a guy like Warren, where he will be, in my personal opinion, I'm thinking you may want to take a chance on him now, because I think eventually he will pay off in the long run. But you have to be willing to you have to be willing to know either A, he's going to be on your starting lineup every week, or B, he's going to be on your taxi squad.
Yeah, that matters a lot when you're using a first round pick.
Right. Because let's just say that Anthony Richardson goes out, plays, and Tyler Warren is terrible. Like, Richardson's not targeting him the ball. He's not really giving him the best break and the best look. And you're talking about a guy that's scoring maybe five points a game, maybe. Or you could have, and whether that's
All he's getting is targets.
right. Or you could have a guy that's making you 15, 20 points a game because he's all target based and it's all catch based target. So I would say I'd rather have Warren. But I mean, you make really, everybody has to answer that for their own opinion.
I think a lot of it has to do with how your team is set up currently too. If you have another tight end, especially in a dynasty league, if you have a high caliber tight end, you can take one of them guys that you're not so sure about, put him, on the taxi squad.
Right.
And as far as the tight ends for this year go, I believe Taylor and Warren, their volume is going to be stupid. They have no competition in Indy. Warren's going to. The Jets got rid of Conklin. Taylor's going to feast. Fields loves tight ends. All that stuff goes into play.
Yeah.
Loveland, he's got Kmet there.
He does have competition.
He does. And Kmet's not great, but he's not terrible either. He's solid.
But at the same
and
time,
that could take his volume away.
But the quarterback play on the Bears is what puts
better.
him back up to where they are. So really,
But would you say Williams is better than Fields?
I would also make the notion though with Loveland though is there is a very crowded wide receiver room, and a very crowded. I mean, that whole offense is very crowded. So I almost would pull away from Loveland because
I'm going to argue with you on that.
from the perspective for me, I would take Warren or Mason over Loveland because I believe their production would get you better off the gate.
So, but let me argue with you. You said the offensive weapons are crowded. Who's their wideouts?
Roma
Name 3 of
Dunze.
them.
You have Roma Dunze. Who did they draft this year? Didn't they draft another
Luther
one?
Burden,
Luther Burden.
DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And then the tight end in the middle, that sounds... I don't know, man. I don't think it's as crowded as we're thinking.
I don't know. If reports out of Chicago is Ben Johnson's going to utilize Loveland the same way he did Laporta in Detroit. So run with that as you will.
We're getting up there in time. There's going to be bonus footage regarding a fantasy football trade of Justin Fields as bonus footage.
Oh.
Just so you know. Let's get to that 24. This is our last one we did because we're not going to do this year's because we don't have the info.
2024, the actual draft. The Bears went Caleb Williams. The Commanders went Jaden Daniels. The Pats went Drake May. The Cards went Marv Harrison Jr. The Chargers went Joe Alt. The Giants went Malik Neighbors. The Titans went J.C. Levin. The Falcons went Mike. Surprised everyone. Michael Penix Jr.
That was wild.
Everyone was like,
Yeah. And that dude still has his job. We're so shocked.
where the Bears went Roma Dunze. The Vikings got J.J. McCarthy. The Jets went OU Fashanu.
I don't know who that is.
I know he's offensive lineman. I'm sorry I killed your name. The Broncos went Bo Nix. The Raiders went Brock Bowers. The Saints went Talise Fuaga.
Okay.
The Colts went
Latu.
Latu. The Seahawks went Byron Murphy II. The Vikings went Dallas Turner. The Bengals went Amarius Mims. The Rams went great pick Jared Verse.
Great pick.
Yes.
Dog.
Steelers went Troy Fatanu. The Dolphins went Chop Robinson. The Eagles
want
stole
him so
Quinyon
bad.
Mitchell, boy.
All right, take it easy.
God, dog it.
What is that?
The Jags went BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. The Lions went Terrion Arnold. The Packers went Jordan Morgan.
Who's that?
Offensive tackle out of
Okay.
The Bucks went Graham Barton.
Yes, we did.
The Cards went Darius Robinson. The Chiefs went Xavier Worthy. The Cowboys went Tyler Guyton. The Ravens got Nate Wiggins. We got Ricky Pearsall. And the Panthers got Xavier Legette. Some of the notables, 2 through 7. Ladd went in the second.
Who got Xavier Legette?
Panthers.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I read something wrong.
Ladd went in the second. Cooper DeJean went in the second. And Bucky Irving went in the fourth.
Here, we all know my boy Ladd, right? Ladd is a fucking dog.
They went back to back. If the Panthers would have just swapped that dude.
Ladd and Legette.
Yes.
No, we can't say anything bad about Legette. We didn't get to see a lot because of bad quarterback play in the beginning.
They had the Red Rocket.
Andy Dalton, yeah. It's the Red Rifle. Red Rocket means something else. Google it on your own time later. The Red Rifle. Cooper DeJean, definitely. Take it easy. Cooper DeJean, 100% is first round quality. And Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean coming out of the same draft and just absolutely being fucking studs is the reason that the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
100%. Because big play Slay, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. What are we doing? That's insanity. I thought it was dumb last year, them going corner and corner.
It
I'm like,
certainly is
you
not.
guys have other holes to fill. But when the talent's there,
You got to take
the
it.
talent's there. So
Which I think it's crazy when you look back, even from 2020 to now, and you look at those 24 class. We're only 1 year out.
yeah.
And for those two players to go to Philly was such a pivotal moment for their careers. And not only for them individually, but for Philly as a whole to set them up for the future. But you got to think, Jaden Daniels going to Washington, that...
As a Bears fan, you want them flip-flopped.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and think about everybody that took Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels in a dynasty league or even in a redraft league.
That's one I called
Right?
last year.
You know, and they take that.
Do you think Neighbors should have went before Marvin Harrison?
Let's play that game. What if they were to flip? Do you think...
I think honestly, truth be told, I'm good either way. If it were to stay like this, or if they were to flip.
Ooh, speaking about Marv, did you see him in his latest press conference? That dude probably put on 30
Oh
pounds
my
of
God.
solid
Oh,
muscle.
yeah, he looks.
He's out here looking
massive.
almost like DK.
Dude,
Like, dude's-
that's what I'm saying. Literally, you can't
Dude.
have a draft nowadays without a Ohio State wide receiver.
Okay, so I guess my
Or an
thing,
LSU one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, wide receiver. Who is wide receiver? You is it Ohio State or LSU?
I'm still on the LSU train, just on the fact of if you want top 5, you go to LSU, but if you want 2 top 20s, you go to OSU.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
That's how that
Okay.
works.
All right. Well, that's what it is. I guess,
Right?
I guess if you
Nico's
look at
from Michigan.
No, no one
No,
gives a
no,
fuck. He's the
nobody
only
cares.
one that's ever came out, so.
Michigan, who?
The people that beat you.
I don't want to talk about that. Anyhow, okay, so the Marv Neighbors
Oh my God.
debate.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Since
I'm
we're
sorry,
going to interrupt him.
I'm sitting here and it just dawned on me.
Bucky?
No. Why didn't we take Vlad over?
Ricky?
Yes.
You're going to talk shit on your boy Ricky? He got shot for your team, and you're going
Yeah.
to dog him like
No,
that?
he got shot for the Rolex, which he still wears to this day.
I would
because he
too.
got it back.
Yeah, I would too.
But I'm just saying, what if that's the game we're playing?
I agree.
We took Lad over Ricky.
Well, you would have had one less player on your IR slot.
Keep
The
going.
Bucks went Graham Barton.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Okay, so Marv Neighbors debate. I don't think this debate can be settled right now because
Too early.
both of these players
They need to both play out their rookie
are
contract.
going to
then
be
we can debate.
right. This is a 5-year debate because you getting old there. You got a cramp.
Yes.
Oh,
I'll mute you so you can scream.
pardon Sean over there. He's getting old. All right. Okay. So there is one player that you particularly
Me?
don't think he's only had a flash in the pan success.
Spit it out.
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would Bo Nix have gone any higher after what we know now?
What we know now, the Vikings should have taken him over JJ.
Okay.
For what we've seen thus
Yeah.
far,
In JJ's defense, he got injured. We
I
don't
agree. I agree. But I'm saying, looking back, knowing what we know now, Bo Nix is very high potential. I don't think he's going to be great for too long.
Are you gonna-
I'm not a hater. Like, I don't want you to, to fail.
Are you
I
going
don't
to take Nix over Penix?
Yeah.
Would you take Nix over Drake May?
No.
No.
Okay.
I think Nix is the 4th best.
So you would slot him in.
So
I mean-
I would slot him up to Penix then.
Okay.
In theory.
In theory.
And then I would put Penix on the Vikings, and then
Which that-
JJ to the.
That's
to
a
Denver.
wild. I remember sitting there
The
watching.
Penix made no fucking
sense at all.
Because
And now
they,
you're paying Kirk Cousins to sit on the bench holding a clipboard.
remember that was the same offseason that Preach is talking about. That the Falcons signed a 4-year, $200 million or $160 million, something like that, to Kirk Cousins to come there, and then drafted a QB top 10.
Yes.
Wild.
And
I
that,
want to say it's 40 mil a year is what.
and to my knowledge, that quarterback is out of work right now.
What one?
Cousins.
Yeah, they're looking on trading him. I know that. And I mean,
It might end up in Cleveland.
who could use
Hey.
a Kirk Cousins
Listen,
right now?
It would
The
almost
Giants.
go back to the Vikings. They are win now. They're a quarterback
Yeah.
away.
That is very true. Now, do the Vikings have that kind
Steelers.
of cap room? Yep, Steelers would love to have him.
can we talk about the fact
We could.
that if things would have been a little bit different and the Falcons did not select a quarterback, they could have had the pick of the litter with Roma Dunze going to Atlanta.
Who is this again?
The Falcons.
Falcons.
If they did not take Penix, they could have slotted and taken Rome.
They
And
could
you
have
would've had
taken
him.
Brock fucking Bowers.
Brock Bowers paired with Kyle Pitts.
Well, you're gonna trade Pitts after
Right.
that, but yeah,
Or Romo Junze, they pair with Drake London.
I think who's the back or the two on the Falcons? He's extremely underrated. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Keith has him.
Yeah. I made Keith pick him up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Create airwaves.
You talking about Ray
Darnell
Ray?
Mooney.
Oh,
There you go.
Extremely underrated. So
that's an insane thought process, though.
If the
'Cause-
Falcons would have took Ladd.
true. Now that would have been a great right there. Ladd McConkey's my boy. That dude, he out here balling. He's gonna be a sleeper pick in next year's draft, boys.
Think about it this way.
Sleeper.
If the Chiefs would have went Ladd over Xavier Worthy,
Yeah, you can't say that. They wanted a speed demon and they got what they wanted.
Could you imagine?
Isn't that the same draft that they traded with the Bills?
Yes.
And the Bills let them have
Yes.
Xavier Worthy?
Yes. Yep.
Stupid. Didn't they trade to like the 2-1 or something like that? It was like 3 or 4?
they moved back. Yeah.
Yeah, and they needed a wide out and they ended up taking Worthy. And then the Bills had to settle on Keon.
Yes. Yep. In that
Wild.
2-1 slot. I want to talk about the Falcons real one more quick. Think about the fact that they could have punted the quarterback position to this year and picked up Jackson Dart.
It's not a bad idea, buddy.
All right. Well,
So many what ifs and
that's the great part about football is sometimes the what ifs we never know, and sometimes they end up actually happening.
oh my God,
What?
What happened?
What happened now?
Ayuk with Ladd, Kittle.
You're talking shit on Ricky. I'm telling him.
No, I'm not.
Ricky Pearsall, your biggest friend is
Oh, you bitch.
not available, or my phone's not available to trade.
I get
But
that.
you got to quit dogging on Ricky because he's going to prove you wrong
He's
one
going
day.
right, Ricky. You're going right into my starting slot in the fantasy league because your
If-
volume's going to go cuckoo.
Yeah,
If you-
but he's still the 3. Jawan Jennings, Ayuk, Ricky.
What's that? Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, anything else we want to cover today?
Yeah, just our bonus footage. I want Justin Fields from you.
Yeah,
in our
well, you
Dynasty
know
League.
what? Before we get to the bonus footage, I'm Preach.
Sean O'Mac.
And this is Brandon, and that's us, the Gridiron Goons, at the Gridiron Goon Studios. And always remember, any time of year you can make a fantasy football trade because our grind never stops. This is your week. Okay, now on to the bonus footage.
Listen, if you think I'm going to trade you that for that, you're out of your mind.
What is that for that?
If you think I'm going to trade you
The-
Justin Fields
Yes.
for Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco, and what is this one now?
I don't know. Click on it.
2020, my 3-1 back. You are out of your mind.
Okay, all right. Then how about a next year 2 instead?
You're asking me to pick up 2 quarterbacks that aren't even guaranteed to play. You
Winston's playing.
okay. Winston might play, but is
Yeah,
Winston
okay.
better than Fields?
Huh? You're on
Winston-
the wrong New York team, bud. Is he better than Jackson Dart? For the first couple weeks, he is.
Okay. But is Fields going to be better than Jackson Dart?
What the fuck are you talking about? You're
I'm
on the
just
wrong
asking.
team.
I don't care.
You're on the wrong team.
No. Jameis Winston.
I'm giving you a pick. Don't fuck around.
No. I'm telling you right now, Jameis Winston isn't going to be playing much.
You guys got this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got this.
This is just bonus footage.
Yeah, we're just in the bonus.
The fact that
I'm going to get it.
That's fine. Take my truck if you need to.
the fact that you think that I want to trade Justin Fields.
I think you're not grasping. It's more of the pick.
Listen.
It's way more of the
Okay,
pick.
I get this. But what I'm saying is I don't think that I can lose Fields right now in this moment for what the potential value Fields is later on this year.
You know what? You talked me into it. I will throw my final offer to you right here, right now, live in front of every single viewer that didn't leave after the bonus footage. So read that to our fans.
It's Justin Fields for Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, and my 2026 first back. Because remember, I traded you my first in the deal to you for Hurts and Wilson.
And I'm keeping your first.
Well,
Let's just be real here.
I know you're not going to give up Chuck T, and that's fine, and I understand that. I don't think you understand how much that me having Winston and Flacco don't like it. Those are just throw-ins
You know what?
at this point,
Let me just hold on.
right? Right?
So,
am I wrong?
I'll get you to just shut up about Flacco and Winston. That's like the actual thing. It was more
Okay.
just like it was a kicker.
Okay, but did you look at my team here, dude? Have you looked at my team? Do you really think I need to be rolling in with Tua, Bo Nix, Jalen Hurts, Joe Flacco, and Winston?
Okay, so I'm taking them out of here. So now his quarterback trio on his team reads Tua Tagovailoa,
Yes.
Bo Nix,
Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay, well,
so
here's-
he minuses. Hold on. He
Okay.
minuses Justin Fields,
Okay.
and now he has a next year first round pick.
But you're
He's never going to use Fields unless literally one of them gets injured and then there's a bye week. He's not using Fields.
well, are you not looking at the fact that both of my players have bye weeks in the same week?
Who gives a shit? You're gonna waste. So do they, Dick Cheese.
Yeah, but then I can use them. If I don't have him, then what am I going to do in the Superflex League?
You're insane. It's 1 week. So you want to ruin the future of your team
Well-
for 1 week of fantasy football.
You know what the funny thing is you're asking for me to accept this when we're literally recording on the phone.
Okay, but if we could make a verbal
gentleman's agreement?
a verbal agreement, they would know it went through.
Oh.
You psycho.
When are we gonna edit this? Am I gonna edit this like Breakfast Club when it's like at the end?
I don't
Tell you,
know,
like-
man.
Listen,
So this is exactly what I'm saying. Is comment down below. How about this?
comment down below if I take this trade or
Comment
not.
down below. If you were in a dynasty league, would you take a next year first for Justin Fields?
Are they tell? Because
that's
they
essentially-
the one that choose whatever I take this trade.
I mean, you could make it that way. You'd have to put it on TikTok for sure. We get way more comments on TikTok.
100%.
So I'm gonna add Winston and Flacco back in, just because.
So I'm breaking this down right for TikTok viewers because I'm gonna cut this.
You're gonna cut this
I'm cutting this
Okay.
personally and putting this on TikTok.
immediately. I hope so.
I will try to get this up immediately.
I love that.
If you're basically saying that Justin Fields goes to you for the 2026 first round pick, my pick back,
No, my pick.
your pick,
My pick.
your pick,
Yes,
your pick back.
my pick.
So the 2 or the 110.
1-7 to 110.
Okay,
We're gonna
so-
call me
okay.
a playoff team.
Okay. So for the
So a late
110
first
for
round pick.
Justin Fields.
He could throw a fucking dud.
All right, so
He could never play again.
all right, so those on TikTok, it's basically Justin Fields in the 110 or the late first round Ebos pick with a kicker of Jameis Winston and Joe Flacco. Am I taking this deal? Whether or not I want to, the comments will deter. They're gonna tell me what I'm doing. So comment down below. Am I taking this trade or am I declining this trade? All right.
We'll let you know next episode. Anyway, see ya.